Today we're actually looking at the economy of this state under these governors, and I have joining me in the studio the former presidential aide, Mr. Okoi Obono-Obla. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
All right. So you follow all the processes, all the elections and all of that. But our major focus today is the economy. Let's quickly look at the economy of Imo State under Hope Uzodinma's watch. We have the graphics. We'll look at under Imo State, you look at the population is 5.4 million. The total GDP 7.68 trillion. If you look at GDP per capita, 1.4 million. In 2022, the IGR is 15.57 billion. The governor claimed that he grew it from 600 million to that level. In the FAC allocation, 235 billion. In domestic debt there, 204. And of course, debt, foreign debt, $51.09 million. And unemployment rate, Imo State officially, according to statistics from NBS, is the unemployment capital of Nigeria. Of course, poverty rate at 29%. Look at the health spending per capita, 914 naira per there, and of course the education spending per capita, 1,704.44. What do you take? Do you think, with all these statistics, how justifiable is the people of Imo State to have re-elected Governor Hope Uzodinma?
Well, if these statistics are this bad, yes, and if that is what the people of what we have here, what we have seen, the statistics, then I don't think they were justified to have elected him. Yes.
All right, give you what you have seen now, and now he's been re-elected already. I'm sure he has quite a whole lot to do for the people. What do you think he should do now, seeing this statistic, and of course as a governor for the past 4 years, and of course somebody that will also be sworn in again for another 4 years? What do you think he should do with regard to this statistics?
Let us be fair to him. In as much as the statistics are very dismal, I think 4 years is not enough for somebody or a governor or even a president to turn over things. Okay, it depends on what he inherited from the person who was there. Okay, so but he has to excuse in the next 4 years, not to, so that we can see positive statistics and we can use it to give him a pass mark that for 8 years he has returned the fortunes of the state around. So I think like health. If you spend
904 naira,
4 naira,
for an individual,
it's
that's not even enough to buy Panadol.
It's nothing to write home about. That means that that sector has been so neglected.
So the governor should pay attention to that sector.
Because if you want to look at economy, you look at health. How many people live to 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years? How many people can afford health services? If you are sick, you are guaranteed you have the guarantee that you can have money, or the government can take care of you. So he has to invest more in health, because without a healthy society, you cannot have a healthy economy.
A healthy economy, yes, even a healthy population.
Exactly.
Indeed. Let's go to Kogi State and see what Kogi State is under Governor Yahaya Bello. The population of about 4.44 million, and of course the total GDP of 3.69 million. It's an estimated GDP number anyway. GDP per capita 830,000, and of course the IGR 17.8 billion. 88 billion there, that is in 2022. A FAC allocation of 69.96 billion, that is for just 2022. And debt, domestic debt, 93.62 billion. Foreign debt there, $52.8 million. Unemployment rate, 39%, fair better than Imo State. And of course, poverty rate, 29%. Health spending per capita is way above close to 2,000, 1,972. Of course, education spending is also stronger than Imo State. How will you rate Kogi State under Governor Yahaya Bello?
For 8 years, I don't think he has done well. Let us be candid. I always pass through Kogi on my way from the eastern part of the country to Abuja when I drive. I think the people of Kogi has not done well, taking into account that their proximity to the federal capital. A lot of them are in the federal capital, a lot of them are in Kaduna. They are very hardworking people, very enlightened people, but they have not taken care of their state. If you drive to Lokoja and then drive to Kene, drive to Ida and all other parts of Kogi State, you will see poverty. scandalous.
But will you blame it alone on Governor Yahaya Bello? He was just in office for 8 years. There were governors before him.
I will blame the previous governors. I will blame him. I will blame all the elites of Kogi State. As I say, they are one of the most powerful bloc in Nigeria, powerful elites, in Nigeria. But how has that translated
to the economic benefit for the people?
Taking into account that that state was created a long time ago, maybe 2 and a half decades ago. Taking into account that the strength they have, the people of Kogi State, they are very well educated. One of the most well educated people in Nigeria. If you write from when they were in northern Nigeria, when they were in Kwara State or in Benue, they are well educated. So taking that into account, we should see a better Kogi. Okay, the population is 4 million, it's manageable, and they have a lot of resources. They have a lot of land. It's one of the food baskets of Nigeria.
Yes. So what do you think the incoming governor now should focus on, given us statistics that we have there? The health spending way close to 2,000. The spending for education is also way above 4,000. Which area do you think the governor's anointed candidate who has been re-elected, which areas do you think he should focus on?
The poverty rate, 29%. Well, I can't still like Kogi State with the resources they have, what we see every day. I mean, the poverty rate should be lower than what 29%. Also, health, but it's not too bad, but it's bad too because 1,902 naira cannot do anything for you in today's economy. Even education too is also low. There should be massive investment in health and education. Because if you invest massively in education and health, it will trigger to the rest of the other sectors of the economy. So we should see a strong Kogi, one of the viable states. As I said, Kogi is very close to the federal capital, and
it's also blessed with mineral resources as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even marine, the internal waterway in Kogi State. If you go to Lokoja, you meet the confluence of Benue and Niger. That should be translated into economic that benefits. Will bring money to the people. Yes, and everybody should be coming to Lokoja. Yes, Lokoja is a very beautiful city, and it has been there, the first capital of northern Nigeria before Zunguru. So we should see a very good thing
in Kogi State. So let's go to Bayelsa State, where Douye Diri, the incumbent, was also re-elected on the platform of PDP. The Bayelsa State is one of the smallest states in terms of population, not really in terms of landmass. It has upland and, of course, the lowland. The population of just 2.5 million, the GDP of about 4.6 trillion, per capita 1.8 million. This is very impressive. The IGR 12.78 billion, that's as of 2020. The FAC allocation between 2020 and 2022 is about 581 billion naira. Domestic debt 146 billion. Of course, foreign debt 60.39 million. Unemployment rate at 7%. Poverty rate 29%. Of course, investment in terms of spending for health 3,418 per capita. And of course, education 11,000. It's very impressive.
Yes. Well, it's also dismal. I'll be very critical of the Niger Delta states because
that's your region, by
yeah, that's my region. I'm from Cross River State. There's nothing going on there in terms of even politics. During elections, people are not allowed to express their fundamental right to vote for candidates of their choice. And Bayelsa State is a classical example of the failure of the Niger Delta states, despite the huge oil revenue that accrues to them. Apart from what you have seen here, Bayelsa State is one of the largest recipients of money from the federation account every month. Brought
in addition to 13% derivation.
Exactly, 13%. And also NDDC. As a matter of fact, I was in a program 2 days ago. I was talking about NDDC. I was very critical of NDDC because of the treatment they have meted to my state. My state is not giving anything in NDDC. So all these NDDC states.
But your state is well developed compared to the rest of the South states.
Well, because our people are not hardworking, and our governors have been more positive than the governors in Delta, in River State, and Bayelsa. where you see a glimmer of hope is Okoi Obono State. Yes. So
talking about Cross River State, you're talking about.
Yeah, Cross River State. Cross River State has done well relatively as compared to the resources.
You've been lucky to have some, foresight governors from Donald Duke to Lee Elimoke to the former governor.
That is what we should advocate in the Niger Delta states. Look, it's still like Bayelsa, very small population, manageable. It has the fourth largest GDP in Nigeria. So they should do better.
Can you compare the topography of Bayelsa?
Well, the topography is difficult, but that is not shouldn't be an excuse. Have you been to Amsterdam? In the Netherlands, it's water all over.
Absolutely.
Yes, and they have made positive use of it. If you go to Venice in Italy too, they have a lot of water. So we should not use the topography as an excuse. We should have a hard-working government, a hard-working people. But what we have is personalization of governance. The governor is everything. The governor appropriates the House of Assembly, appropriates the judiciary.
Well, that's not limited to Bayelsa
local
State
government. Yes, that is why we are not creative. We don't see the kind of creativity we should have, or we should have in the Niger Delta state. I have been saying that states like Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Rivers, Delta should be the Dubai of Africa.
Absolutely.
Yes, if we have serious
now I'm sure Governor Douye Diri is listening to you right now. Which areas now do you think he should focus on?
Focus on education, focus on health, focus on unemployment, okay? And then also open up the government. The government is not open up. So very few people have access to government, and it doesn't work that way. The people should have access to governance, to government, okay? Not just a few elites appropriating all the resources, and then closing access to people who can bring creative ideas to, turn the state around.
All right, interesting submission there. I'm sure quite a whole lot there that need to be done in Niger Delta, and not just Niger Delta, other states of Nigeria for the benefit of Nigeria.
Nigeria is not about Abuja, because the states are not doing well. Everybody is very critical of the president. Let me tell you, I have been a civil society activist, a lawyer for a long time.
All right.
What people say concerning the president is what nobody will dare do that to a governor.
Absolutely.
If you do that to a governor, they come after you.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. We need to go now. I'm sure we will have a different conversation on this. I must thank you, former presidential aide. Of course, you were an aide to former President Muhammadu Buhari. Yes, I must thank you for your time. Okoi Obono-Obla joining us here on Business Daily. And with that is a wrap on the show. Today we'll be back again tomorrow for more. I am Yusuf Akogun.